Hello again, YouTubers. How we doing? Well, today's video is a request video. The last week I got an message from Pipe Proxy who asked or requested that I put together a little video talking about how my Ferndown pipe smokes. So I thought I would honor that request from Pipe Proxy and kind of share some of my thoughts on my Ferndown pipe. I can't really say this is a review of all Ferndown pipes or Ferndown pipes in general, as I only own one Ferndown pipe. So, if you make the assumption that my observations about this one particular Ferndown pipe applies to all of them, you could, then run with that if you want to and make your own decision about Ferndown pipes in general. But still, I'll go ahead and share some of my observations and thoughts on my one Ferndown pipe. And here it is. It is a poker shape. It has a brindle stem. As you can see there, it's got the LJS initials, which are on all Ferndown pipes. This band here is sterling silver. It is stamped .925, and it's got some hallmarks on it, which are kind of small for me to read without a loop. I think it says L&J, maybe? 925. Those are the hallmarks. So it's sterling silver band. On the bottom of the pipe it says 2-star, or it's got 2 stars. Ferndown bark, and bark is the name of this style of pipe. It's supposed to represent like tree bark. The finish on it's a rusticated finish. Handmade in England. Less wood, antique. I'm not quite sure what the antique means. I purchased this pipe. This was an estate pipe. I purchased it from a friend of mine, an online fellow pipe smoking friend of mine who's based in California. He bought this pipe new. I think when I bought it from him, he said he only smoked it maybe 10 times or so, and the reason he was selling it was he just had his first child and he needed to free up some money to cover some expenses with having a newborn son. So that was why he was selling this Ferndown. And I bought it from him. And the reason I had purchased this Ferndown was I had been looking to add some English pipes to my rack, and one of the pipe makers or brands I was looking to purchase was a Ferndown. I was also considering Dunhill, Ashton. I think that may have been. I think it may have been those 3: Ferndown, Ashton, and Dunhill. But of course, Dunhill is just crazy expensive. Ashton's can be kind of expensive too, but well, so can Ferndowns. But they don't seem to be command as quite the price that definitely a Dunhill and a lot of Ashtons do. And this was an estate pipe, so it was even a better price. So I pulled the trigger on that. I kind of have this, I've mentioned in some other videos, previous videos, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with this poker shape. This is my 3rd poker shape pipe I've had. The other 2 previous ones I've either sold or gave away. And then I know I bought one poker, sold it, bought another poker, gave it away, and then this is my 3rd poker. So hopefully this one will find a more long-term home with me. The drilling on this pipe is really, at least from just a visual standpoint, seems to be well done. The hole in the center of the stem is centered well. Also, the draft hole in the shank. Hold on, let me see. You can't see it, but the draft hole here in the shank is centered as well. So that's nice, so that when you put the stem on the shank, both those holes, everything lines up, which is a good thing, because that's, if they line up well, they're drilled well, you'll cut down on any turbulence, or that's supposed to also, I think I've read, help reduce with any kind of gurgling if everything that the air can flow through across that connection really smoothly. But it's the draft hole in the smoking chamber. Sorry, is right at the bottom, so it's well drilled. Um, it's also got some nice thick walls on it, so it's I kind of like that because it's less, or not less likely. It takes a little bit more for it to get hot in your hand. You'd have to do a lot more heavy puffing on it for it. You start to really get that heat transfer and feel hot in your hand. And I don't clench my pipes this while I smoke. I hold them. So that's a nice touch for me because it doesn't get as hot. This pipe, or let me put it this way. I've noticed that, or I should say I've read a couple places online that Ferndown pipes are a little bit on the heavy side, maybe is a good way to say it. It's not a heavy pipe, but it's definitely, a lot of the other pipes I have on my rack are a lot lighter than this. This seems to have a little bit more heft, a little bit more, I don't know, substance to it. So that coupled with this long stem would probably make this kind of uncomfortable to clench anyway for long periods of time, unless you've just got really, strong, well-developed jaw muscles. This is really good for hand holding, and like I said, I've read that Ferndown pipes can be a little bit on the heavy side anyway, so that may preclude, if you're a clencher, you may have some issues with some Ferndown pipes, especially the ones that have these kind of a long stem like this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load it up right now with some McClellan's. Wow, that's a big glare. Sorry about that, guys. This is McClellan's Rose of Latakia. I've dedicated this pipe. Well, let me put it this way. The dedication goes so far as I don't smoke aromatics in it. I'll smoke Virginias in it. I'll smoke Englishes, Orientals. I may put a straight burley in it, like Carter Hall or something like that. But I don't smoke aromatics in it. So, and that's in regards to being dedicated. That's the extent of the dedication of a certain type of tobacco for this pipe. So I've got it loaded up now. Let me go get it lighted, or I should say lit, and I'll talk about how well it smokes. Bear with me. So when I purchased this pipe, of course, like I said, it had only been smoked about 10 times, so there really wasn't much of any cake at all to have to ream out or anything like that. It's basically a brand new pipe. So I had to do all the cake building in it. It probably was, it didn't build a cake really fast, and it didn't take a long time or a lot of effort to build a cake either. It was probably pretty average in the speed at which it broke in and started a good starter cake in it. Oh goodness, I'm almost out of fuel. I do remember that while I was smoking it, or I should say while I was breaking it in and building that cake, the pipe would get hot. The bowl of the pipe would get hot. But that's not necessarily a defect in this pipe, because I find, at least in my experience, a lot of brand new pipes that have no cake need to be broken in and have a cake built on them. They have a tendency to burn hot no matter how slow you smoke them. But once the cake got built in it, and it's now got a nice little thin cake going in it, it doesn't burn hot unless I just smoke it too fast. Oh no. Oh goodness. It does seem to take well to the non-aromatics I've smoked in it. I haven't found that Virginias do better than Englishes or do better than Orientals. They all seem to do equally well in it. It does deliver a nice taste to the tobacco. I haven't found it being prone to want to ghost. Like I smoked a really heavy Latakia blend in it. I don't find it being prone to really want to take a ghost really easily. So that's nice. So in summary, I'm really happy with this pipe. I like the heft and feel of it. I like the look of it. It smokes well. It's got a nice classy look with that sterling silver band on it and a classic poker shape. I'm happy with it. I suspect it will have a long residence in my pipe rack, and it will see lots of pipe love from me. It won't be neglected. So there you go. Those are my thoughts and observations on my one and only Ferndown pipe. Based on those observations, I will definitely consider purchasing more Ferndowns in the future. If in general all Ferndowns are built, or I should say made this way, I would have no problem recommending Ferndowns to others. So there you go, Pipe Proxy. Hope that was enjoyable for you to watch, interesting, useful. I appreciate hearing any comments or reading any comments from anyone. Thanks for your subscriptions. Take care.